Imam Ibn al-Jawzi rahimahullah ta'ala mentioned in his book about Umar ibn Abdul Aziz that one day Umar ibn Abdul Aziz was on the minbar. And while he was on the minbar, all of a sudden he went off and then he came back. And when people asked him why he went, he said, because I observed my heart and I found that I was amazed by the amount of people that were listening to me. And I refused to speak while my nafs loved what I saw. And what he saw was still for the sake of Allah, we don't doubt that. And Imam Sha'rani rahimahullah ta'ala mentioned in his book Tanbih al-Mukhtarreen that one of the ulama of Mecca was talking. And as he was speaking, there was a cloud that arrived, and the moment it passed over his head, he stopped speaking. And they said, why did you stop speaking? And he said, because I didn't know whether it was a cloud that was sent with a adab, with a punishment, because Allah knew that my heart was not sincere. The only person that could literally sit in front of the people and talk about who he was Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And this is why the fuqaha of Medina very often used to say, a time where people like myself are being asked questions, la zamanu su, is a very, very bad time indeed. So very often when, and I'm sorry, it looks like I'm talking to my psychologist, but you're my brothers and my sisters, so just bear with me for a second. But people who teach know that they do not like to teach if it were not for the beauty of Allah and His Prophet ﷺ. And whenever we teach and we sit in front of beautiful people like yourselves, we know that we are not worthy of even addressing you. Wallahi, antum awliyaullah. You are the awliya and we are just your servants. Wallahi, it's true. And even if we were to talk our way to hell, like talking about things that go beyond our own experiences, then just knowing that this may draw a smile on the face of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was worth it. Wallahi, knowing that you may end up, maybe, when you speak about the deen, you may end up in hell. But if that happens and you know that you drew a smile on his face, wallahi, it was worth it. I'm not saying that I want to go there. Please, Ya Rabbi. Well, by all the things that our Shaykh Shams has mentioned, by all of that, Ya Rabbi, make us of the people of Jannah. But it's really true. There is nothing as stressful as talking about the deen. And if Allah would not have poured knowledge into our vessel, wallahi, He would not have spoken. So it's not a nice thing to do, but I hope that it will bring you where I would like to go. To meeting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this life before disappearing into the next. And that's what they say that dhikr is all about. Dhikr is calling upon your Lord until He answers your call, and then there is silence. They say the goal is not to do dhikr. The goal is to become the mathkur. Because إِذَا ذَكَرَنِي فِي نَفْسِهِ ذَكَرْتُهُ فِي نَفْسِهِ. And whenever I make dhikr of him or her, or he or her does dhikr of me, then I do dhikr of him or her. And our scholars say the only reason why you do dhikr is because he wants to do dhikr of you. أَمْرٌ لَاحِقْ لِأَمْرٍ سَابِقٍ. You only did dhikr. When you do dhikr, it is the proof of he doing dhikr of you, nothing more. He's never the done to. He's never maf'ul. He's always fa'il. When you raise your hands to the sky, like our Shaykh said, I'm sure that Allah has accepted it. When you raise your hands to the sky, it's because He had He knew since beginninglessness that you would answer at a moment that He wanted something for you, that He wanted since beginninglessness. So this is why, on the other hand, there are so many things I want to share, because I see so many beautiful people in front of me, and sometimes life, Allah, is so difficult. We are fighting again in the midst of a jungle named Dunya, where all these dangerous animals, and I'm not calling people animals by the way, where all these poisonous beings try to literally inject the venom of kufr and being far away from Allah Jalla wa Ala into our veins. It's a struggle. And I'm telling you this as somebody who had studied deen for 30 years. I struggle. I don't come here and tell you, wow, it's a walk through the park, people, like just do it all. Wallahi, we struggle. Everybody struggles. ولكن الأجر على قدر المشقة. Your reward will be in line with the effort you put into getting to Allah. And it has never been as difficult as today. And that's why the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, طُوبَى لِمَنْ آمَنَ بِي وَرَآنِي. طُوبَى, for the one who believed in me and saw me. ولكن طُوبَى ثُمَّ طُوبَى ثُمَّ طُوبَى ثُمَّ طُوبَى ثُمَّ طُوبَى ثم طوبى ثم طوبى لمن آمن بي ولم يرني. But طوبى is 7 times for the one who believed in me but never saw me. Do you know how strong your faith is? Like you say, oh, my faith is weak. How can it be weak? You believe that the book that you have on your shelf is the word of Allah. You believe that there once was a man named Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. You never saw him, you never heard him, but you chose to believe in him and to walk his walk and talk his talk at the expense of everything. You are strong. And that's why the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, I wish that I had seen my brothers. And I repeat this every Ramadan because it's for me, whenever I feel like, letting go, like waking up a bit later, studying a bit less, then that hadith resonates through my mind. How much do I look forward now to seeing my brothers? أَوَلَسْنَا بِإِخْوَانِكَ يَا رَسُولَ اللَّهِ. Are we then not your brothers? The people of Badr asking this, right? And they were so much better than we are. The tawbah of the Sahaba was stronger than the worship of those who came after them. The tawbah of the Sahaba radiallahu anhum was stronger than the ikhlas in our own worship and devotion to Allah Jalla wa Ala. So that's not what we are saying. So even the Ashab al-Badr were amazed, like baffled, stupefied, like, أَوَلَسْنَا, yani, are we not your brethren, Ya Rasulullah? And of course they were in faith. He said, أَنْتُمْ أَصْحَابِي. Now people think that this is belittling what they were. Ashab is beyond ikhwan. And this is what people don't understand. Say, no, you are my companions, but they are my brothers. Well, they were his brothers and companions. So he said, my brothers. Now they are whom? They are the ones that hear about me and never saw me and believe in me. And leaving their house and their wealth would be more beloved to them. Yani, in order to see me than anything that could be given to them on the face of the earth. Wallahi, I know if Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would be there now, you would all go. You would leave your jobs. You would leave everything for his sake. You are these kind of people. And if you say, no, I'm not, look at Ramadan. For me, Ramadan brings out the faces of awliyaullah. Before Ramadan, we think we're weak and I'm not strong and you are now living up to the potential you have. You are that worshipper now. Your worship now during the month of Ramadan could be a part of the people that were mentioned in Siyar A'lam Nubala by Imam al-Dhahabi. You pray at night, you fast during the day. So don't say that you can't. You can. This is where you are today. But to come back to the Prophet ﷺ, when he asked the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, and he said, Man a'jabu al-khalqi imana. Man a'jabu al-khalq. Whose faith of whole creation is the most baffling, the most amazing. And as I always say, barakallahu fikum, when I mention the hadith, now forget about me. When I talk, forget what I say, don't take me into consideration. I'm nothing, I'm a nobody. But when the hadith comes, that is where we listen. Because then it's no longer that distorted slave of Allah Jalla wa Ala, but it's the pure soul that speaks. His words, when you hear them, resonated through the universe for 1,400 and so many years to find you. When he spoke his words, they were preserved by Ahlul Hadith. They were preserved by the people of Hadith, written down in books and memorized so that they would be passed on to you without you even having to look for them. This is how much Allah loves you. People will travel for 3 weeks, 3 months for one hadith. Here you are, a hadith being poured out over you and you don't even look for them. This is how much Allah loves you. That's why I always tell my wife, Allah loves you more than me. She said, why? I had to look in the books of hadith for 30 years night and day. And this is how difficult it was made for me because I was not worthy of it. I was not worthy. I had to look for it. And I say, you're just sitting on your couch and I share a hadith with you while you are sipping on your juice or while you are drinking your coffee. And there I am sharing hadith with you. This is how much Allah loves you. Can you compare the two? SubhanAllah. The Prophet was sent to the Sahaba radiallahu anhu. They didn't even have to look for the hadith. That's why for me, the talib al-ilm, that is how I look at myself. The talib al-ilm is so far away and so unworthy that he has to put that effort into it. I'm not talking about Shaykh al-Ajillah. I'm talking about myself. That's how I see it. I was not in that position where Allah allowed me just to drink straight from the source. No, I had to look for it. So now to come back. He said, when you hear the hadith, listen. It's not me. Don't look there. As I'm saying this, people are looking to the left. That's not okay. That's not okay. Don't do that. Not because of me. Your Prophet is speaking. What's wrong? When you hear a hadith, don't look somewhere. That's very bad. Imam Malik would kick you out of his majlis. Now, if a hadith is mentioned, start looking around, say, go. He was very harsh. But I'm not a Maliki, so it's all right. so let's continue. So the Prophet ﷺ, he then asked, who is it? They said, الرسل يا رسول الله. He said, وما لهم لا يؤمنون وعليهم أنزل. He said, why wouldn't they not believe? And it is to them that it has been revealed, the books. الملائكة يا رسول الله وما لهم لا يؤمنون وهم عند ربهم. He said, why wouldn't the angels not believe? They are close to their Lord. Figuratively close, not close in time and space. And in their worship and their tasbih, they said, فَنَحْنُ يَا رَسُولَ اللَّهِ. We يا رسول الله. He said, وَمَا لَكُمْ لَا تُؤْمِنُونَ وَأَنَا بَيْنَ أَظْهُرِكُمْ وَتَرَوْنَ مَا تَرَوْنَ. He said, why would you not believe? I'm here with you. Now I'm here with you. And you see what you see, of mu'jizat. He said, no. أَعْجَبُ الْخَلْقِ إِيمَانًا. The people with the most astonishing kind of faith. قَوْمٌ يَأْتِيهِمْ كِتَابٌ. A people to whom a book will come between two covers. They will read it. They will believe in it. وَيَعْمَلُونَ بِمَا فِيهِ. And they will put it into practice. You were not there when the book was revealed. You didn't see the Prophet ﷺ, but that book to you means more than your life. You are amazing. You are really amazing. When I see this, I don't understand where this power comes from if it is not from Allah Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is why whenever I hear these things, then I literally say, subhanallah, the people that are created today, they were created for a reason. You were created to remind people that Allah and His Prophet exist. That's your value. Your acts, your actions, your ilm, your knowledge, you are a beacon of light. You just don't know it. You are the beacon of light. You are the revival of faith. You are the bridge between the previous generations and the ones that are about to appear. So this is why don't underestimate who you are. You are the solution to the problems in the world. You are the scales on which we can weigh morals and values and standards and whatever it may be, because they change all the time. Allah's do not. Because أَلَا يَعْلَمُ مَنْ خَلَقَ وَهُوَ اللَّطِيفُ الْخَبِيرُ. Does the one who has created know not while he knows the details of everything? And that everything is clear for him? For him there is not something that he sees better than other things and knows more than other things? أَلَا يَعْلَمُ مَنْ خَلَقَ وَهُوَ اللَّطِيفُ الْخَبِيرُ. And he's the well-informed, not by anybody, he just knows. And he's the one that will inform. So this is why, don't underestimate who you are. You just have to live up to your reason of existence. كُنْتُمْ خَيْرَ أُمَّةٍ. You are the best of all communities ever. Because the previous communities, religious ones, the followers of the prophets, they didn't have to, they didn't have to spread the message. They had to support their prophet. But we now, because our Prophet physically disappeared from the earth, we now have that prophetic duty, every Muslim, to represent The will of Allah, shar'ullah ala wajh al-ard and sunnat nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And this is why you were created today. And I want to finish on this note. Some people say, I was too bad. Yani some of the tabi'een, they came to the ashab, like we find in the books of hadith. And I mention this often, but I do this always in Ramadan because I just like it. I don't want to come up with something new. You know, it's like when you take a hammer and then that nail in the wall, if you just hit it once and then you put a frame on it, it will fall. If you keep on hitting it, it will be strong. So I repeat many things many times. I don't want to impress you with new things. So now, Allah, what is what I wanted to say? I went like this, Sayyidi, you have to help me. So what did I want to say? Allah, where was I? Yes. So the tabi'un, they came to the Prophet Muhammad, to the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, and they said, did you look at the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam with these two eyes? And they said, yes. They said, close your eyes, and they kissed between their eyes. And they said, how blessed are eyes that were allowed to look at Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then they said, are these the hands that shook the hands of those who shook the hands of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? They said, yes. So they kissed the hand and they said, how blessed are hands that shook the hands of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then the generation after it would do exactly the same thing. So now people say, was I not good enough to live with him? Habibi, if all the good souls would have lived in his times, who would be there at the end of times? We are hujjatullahi ala khalqi. We are the hujjah. We are Allah's argument until the end of times. That Allah exists, that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is Rasulullah, that the Quran is Kalamullahi laysa bimakhluq, that the Quran is Allah's word that has not been created. We carry that message. What people are looking for is what you know. The solution to the problems you see in the world is in the hand of the ulama and the people that put the knowledge into practice. So don't underestimate what you have. You have in your hand a door that leads to eternal bliss and closes the door to eternal suffering and can make people happy. It is just now time for you to live up to that, and with the will of Allah Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala, show the light that is within you. You are that beacon of light. You are Dua Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. You are the one that he looks forward to meeting. I ask Allah Jalla wa Ala to make this beneficial, Ya Rabbil Alameen.